Hello, wonderful people. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming along today. It is always my pleasure to have you on my channel. Thank you for listening to me. I'm hoping you're going to listen to me anyway. So, as always, this is John Bosco here, uh, making sure that we continue to build on Agile and Scrum. Thank you. If this is the first time you are visiting me, I appreciate it. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. I give you all the flowers for trusting me. And if you are a first time on my channel, one thing I'm going to ask you to do, if you would, to please click that subscribe button down there. Just click it and click the notification bell if you can see that, so that anytime I release new content, you'll be the first person that will get notification. Believe me, that works. So try it. Just click the notification bell and then hold on. Anytime I release new content, you will see it pop out on your screen and say, hey, John Bosco released content. Then you can be able to listen to me. Isn't that so great? Isn't that so sweet? Anyway, thank you. All right. So thank you for sharing this channel. Thank you for your help. Thank you for recommending me. Thank you for your referrals. Thank you for all of the wonderful things you'll be doing about to make sure that this platform grows. As always, please continue to like, share, comment based on what you are going to get from today's content. And what are we talking about today? Do you want to guess? Guess. Here you go. Today, we're going to talk about something very important, which is the Scrum Team Agreement. Scrum Team Agreement. Scrum Team Agreement. What is really a Scrum Team Agreement? I see a lot of Scrum Masters. I see a lot of people struggle because, one person is not always talking, or another person is always dominating the ceremonies. Is either this or that. Is either the daily Scrum, some people are hijacking, or the time boxing. We always go above and beyond, and we don't usually get the benefit about all of those ceremonies. So there is always an issue to discuss. So there is always a conflict. So what is really a way to contain such anti-patterns among Scrum team members, among the process tools? How would you engage your team? I have realized that sometimes, in most cases, people usually need to have like an instruction guide, something to keep them in check. From a religious point of view, we have what is called the 10 Commandments, where God has given instruction to his people. Even in a classroom environment, we always have classroom policies. In a university environment, in hospital, in government. So why can't we have that as a team? Imagine where there are no laws, societal laws governing how people behave. What do you think will happen? Anarchy and chaos. The same thing applies to Scrum team. In my experience as a Scrum Master, when Scrum team, especially when they are in the forming stage, having a team agreement is one of the great ways to keep them in check, up and running, right? Remember, the rules are not meant for man. Man is not meant for the rules are meant. So in other words, you have to create the room for flexibility, but the objective is a way for the team to keep functioning and keep delivering value. Okay? With that said, let's dive into what I have for you today. So here is my slide. In other words, what we're talking about today is like an instructional guide to help the team to keep functioning. And when people are coming to work together, they need an approach to make sure that they can be able to flourish, they will understand each other, communication-wise, risk management, and all of that makes a perfect team. Now, what is really a team agreement? If you go to Google and type, I believe if you key in team agreement, Scrum Team Agreement, you're going to see tons and tons and tons of information right there, because everybody interprets what team agreement is. But let's look at it from an angle, a realistic angle. So one unique thing you're going to learn today is the applicability of what I'm sharing with you. It's not just theory, it's apply. It is a formal or informal document, depending on how you look at it, right? That contains a team's role, responsibilities, and communication, anything centering around process and team dynamics. It doesn't most of the time contain information on the products. It could, but the center line is not on the product. It's about the team dynamics. It's about the process. It's about the tools. These are what happens, revolves around the team agreement. It could be a reminder, right? Something to always remind the team of what, of how, or where, right? So again, it's a way to make the team, it's a way to bring the team together. In other words, what would help them to have a consensus. Because if you're a Scrum Master and your team doesn't really agree on an idea, it becomes a question mark, it becomes questionable. So you need to have something to keep them in check. And what is that? A team agreement. Now, you might be asking, what really do we get from this team agreement? What is the benefit of the team agreement? I mean, again, it helps to clarify assumptions. Oh, I was thinking, or I thought, or I was, oh my goodness, forgive me. Those some kind of assumptions, right? Oh, I'm not sure what time our daily scrum is going to be. Oh, I'm not sure when we are going to have X, Y, Z. Oh, I'm not sure. Those, I mean, if you're already a practicing Scrum Master, you already know what I mean. So it helps to clarify those assumptions, right? It could act as a source of motivation. When you write something down, it's a way to, help you to commit. For example, myself talking to you right now. So my commitment is always to update you with information and knowledge about Scrum. It is my commitment every Mondays and Fridays. It is my commitment. It's a source of happiness, and it creates a sense of ownership. Okay? So now, what are the elements that should be available in creating the team agreement? Obviously, there should be a source of time for whatever activities that the team is going to be embarking on. Be it daily scrum, sprint planning, backlog refinement, all of those ceremonies, or a coaching session, a webinar, or whatever it is that the team, whatever workshop, name it. Even when you have what is called book club section, right? Now, there should be a source of time where those things do happen. There should be a sort of ceremonies. Are they going to be doing all of the Scrum ceremonies, or what Scrum ceremonies mostly would be most important or be applicable to the team? Sometimes team members might be distracted. Their phones, they may be in a meeting and then their TV is playing, or it's on, whatever it is, those sorts of the distraction. So there should be a sort of consensus. Should we put on our camera on? Should we put off our cameras? What should we do surrounding how we work as a team? What are the roles that should be identified? Scrum Master roles, product owner role, tech lead, tester. I mean, those roles, responsibilities, right? Now, there should be a way to capture feedback among the team, whether they are on track or off track, right? Change requests. When there is some sort of change or scope creep, how would the team manage it? Then in terms of communication and expectation. So those are some elements. I mean, this doesn't mean that you would limit yourself to this, right? But it gives you an idea when you are creating your team's team agreements, what are the things you should remind your team to be part of that document? Now, in facilitating this wonderful section, what and what should happen? In other words, the agenda, right? What I usually do and what I'm encouraging you to do when you are going in for whatever meeting, or even when you are setting up a meeting, always give that idea. It could be a sentence of what to expect. But if you are going in for, let's say, sprint planning, please do have an agenda. It's not just going to save you time, but you're going to sound professional because you want to stick the time box. You want to make sure that you achieve the goal and the purpose and objective for such a ceremony. Makes sense? Now, the first thing you should consider is how much time should you set up for such activity? 1 hour, 1 hour plus, maximum of 2 hours. Now, you don't want to be in an environment where people become so bored. Remember, these developers are quite so tight and scheduled. You want us to make sure that whatever meeting you are scheduling has a value to deliver. Okay? You can start with an hour. If you don't finish within an hour, you can have a follow-up section, right? But keep it at a minimum. Now, I usually start my section with an icebreaker. It could be a question. It could be just whatever it is. It could be whatever, anything at all, right? In such a way you are preparing people mentally, okay? You don't. Some of them are moving from one meeting in between meetings, so their brain is still transitioning. So by doing that icebreaker, people are like, oh, okay, now, but whatever icebreaker you are introducing, let it have something to add to what you're hoping to achieve for that section. Make sense? Now, from there, you can transition into giving them a walkthrough about what a team agreement is all about. Perhaps sharing a story, personally or professionally, might help, but not require. So you just have to think about something just to get the team up and going. Most of the times, I use story to bring to home what I used to, or what I am hoping to get them to do. Now, from there, the team will start crafting the document. People will start sharing ideas, either putting them in the chat, or they can raise their hand, or however they throw those ideas around, you can capture them and then help them to put those information in documents, right? And then from there, you guys are going to take a look at those information. It could be a rough draft, right? Remember, you want to make sure that you capture this information. You don't lose anything. You don't lose anything, okay? Now, as soon as you capture those information, there might be opportunity to vote. Sometimes people might disagree. Sometimes people would agree on ideas. So you should give up room for yes and no. Let that be a sort of consensus, okay? Equality for all. And now, I have also shared a mechanism to get a consensus. If you want to know mechanism for consensus, you can try. There are different voting techniques. So I'm going to leave that for you to do. But what I used to do, or what I used to introduce, is what is called the the 5 feast, where either these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Depending on what people would agree to be. So whatever works for you. Anyway, I guess you understand what I'm trying to say. Then from there, you can polish those ideas together and then put it in a formal document. If the time permits, you could. But if the time doesn't permit, gather those information, put them in a very formal document and share with the team. You guys could have a Confluence page. When you create those Confluence page, when you create the Confluence page, make it visible, share it with the members of the team so that they can always reference it. Sometimes when you have tool like Mural or Miro, you can always put those information there and then the team members can access them. Okay? And then with that, you can close the section. Appreciate them for the time, and then you can close this section. Now, this is a typical of a template of what a team agreement could look like. I mean, Scrum Inc. has made it easier for us. So just look at this template for a while. It gives you an idea of what a typical what could help you to organize information, right? So you can start by asking team, guys, what name would you guys think we should give our team? And then they can say, oh, we should go with Shark Team. We could go with, oh, whatever they want, hippopotamus, whatever that appeals to them, but help them to refine it. The team's motto, roles and responsibilities, metric, whatever, anything that they want to use to keep each other in check, right? So try as much as you can to help them, because as a Scrum Master, you are a leader. All right. Not sure where to start. Anyway, I would be able to show you where to start. I will stop sharing my screen, and then I'm going to share with you a website where you can be able to get started. So hang in there. Let me share my screen and show you what I mean. So if you already know how to use Jira, perhaps you know what Atlassian is. Atlassian is the owner of Jira. So they have a wonderful platform or anything that I think a sort of template or worksheet that can help you to Google and type Atlassian Team Playbook. It's going to take you directly to what you're seeing on the screen, and then you can read it. I'm just flashing my screen to help you see right here where I'm to my cursor. Typical of a team sharing their screen, and then they are putting the information. Again, you can use Trello, you can use whatever, even Confluence has some sort of templates, right? So you can use anything, but you can also use a whiteboard if you're working in an office setting, right? And then around at least on this website, it's going to help you. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. So that is it. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for staying with me for these 17 minutes. Isn't that wonderful? It was amazing. Thank you so much. Please click that subscribe button right there and like if you really like my content, and help me to share. Just click on share and then share with your networks. In such a way, we'll reach a wider audience and other people can also benefit as you are enjoying this. All right. I would love to know your thoughts are in the comment section, question, concern, and please follow me. As you can see the links up there. I'm seeing the links up there. So follow me, email me, and please, most importantly, if you're looking to become a Scrum Master or you know someone who would love to become a Scrum Master to get trained, please contact me and let's make it happen. Thank you for time, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.